So really, it boils down to that success is a numbers game. And what it means is that what you charge counts. Everything you do, everything you don't do, everything you say, everything you don't say counts. And having a strategy for your business is really, really important. Keeping your stats is vital, absolutely vital for your profitability. But then it comes down to the number of contacts that you have or that you make, the method that you use to contact those people, the quality of the prospects. So you could say, well, I know 200 people in my church, but if you're a stager, it would be better to know 200 people in a real estate office because the quality of those prospects would be better for you in terms of business. And then the fourth one is what you say once you are in front of them, the quality of the presentation. I mean, it's just a game. And I think this is another area where a lot of people kind of miss the boat because the question is, will you do the work? Would you contact 5 people? If you're a decorator, 5 people a day. If you're a stager, 5 real estate agents a day. 5 days a week, you're going to have 25 people in your database. If you do that for 52 weeks, at the end of the year, you're going to have 1,300 people in your database. And if you don't do anything with them, they'll just sit there. Even with a 99% no ratio, I don't like the word failure, but I put it up there, I know, you still have 13 of them saying yes. Well, what does that mean to you? If you're a stager, it's 13 real estate agents, and if they only have 1 listing a month for 10 months of the year, you have 130 jobs. If your target is $100,000 in sales, each of those jobs actually only has to be $770, which is very, very low. So it makes it kind of like what we used to do in the gym was, how do you eat an elephant? You break it down piece by piece. This helps you get to that higher figure. What does it mean if you're not a stager? Well, how many of them said yes was 13. So for you, $100,000, you would divide it by the 13 to figure out how much your client value is. So you would need to find 13 customers with $7,692.31. Or you could find 26 customers and have that. So 26 customers at $3,800, $45, or 52 customers at $1,922. So somewhere in there, you will have a comfort zone. If this seems very doable with the business that you're doing, then woohoo. It's not that you have to go out and find hundreds of customers. You just have to play the ones that you have really, really well. All right, so let's look at it another way. The target is $100,000. If you're charging $85 an hour, you would divide it and you would find out that you need to generate business to give you 1,177 billed hours for the year. If you divide that by 52, you will find then that your weekly target is very doable, only just short of 23 hours in a week. And what you need to do now is build your database and build your marketing plan to achieve getting that. And we're going to talk about that as well. Now, what might surprise you is that real estate agents, on average in Canada, is there anybody from the States? No, we're all Canadians. In Canada is 42,000. So an average agent makes 42,000 or less. So it shouldn't surprise you that on average, the average agent only manages 5 listings a year. That's all. But if you take those agents, let's say those 13 agents that we just talked about earlier, and say each one of them gives you 4 hours of business, your client value then is actually 5 times 4, 25, 5 listings times 4 hours at $85. Your client is representing $1,700. So they get a t-shirt on saying $1,700. Okay, so you could look at it that way. Decorators, it's kind of a little bit harder work for you. You know, you take that 100,000 and you divide it by 1,700, means that you need 59 clients who are willing to spend $1,700 with you. That's a lot of work. But you still would just develop the marketing plan and build your contacts to do that. So I've talked about building your contacts. How do you do that? And when you have a limited budget for marketing, grapevine marketing is what works really well. So start with making a list of all of the people that you know. I'm going to put this all up so you can see it. Let's say you have 100 friends, family, your dentist, the chiropractor, all the people that you know. And then schedule to talk to at least 3 to 5 of those every single day. So if we go back to our plan before, it's like, can you talk to 3 or 5 people? Please know it's not, oh, Mary is my sister. She's going to use my business. You want to tap into who do they know. You've all heard of 6 degrees of separation, and we're all connected to Kevin Bacon somehow. I don't know how that works. But, if Rula knows me, and she knows this lady, and you know that lady, going down the chain, if you don't ask for referrals from your friends and family, colleagues, people that you know in your circle of influence, you're not going to get that business. Every single one of them lives somewhere. They're looking for decorating services. They just don't know it yet. Maybe you have a party at your house and invite your family and friends and talk about what your expertise is, what your differentials are. Ask them for referrals. If you're giving them wine and food, you expect something in return. Maybe you have that launch party. The launch party that you had, Rula has a really fabulous store in, where is it? The shops at Don's Mills. You want to go there. It's really beautiful. But what's the purpose? We want to show you the store. You want to tell them about your business, but if you let them all go, by the time they get to the end of the drive, they'll have forgotten. So you have to have a hook and make them commit to thinking about, give them a card. When you give your business cards out, one to keep, one to give away. Don't say, here's a few cards, give them out. One to keep, one to give away. One to keep, 2 to give away. You have to give instructions for it to go into the psyche, into the subconscious for them, to remember what it is that you want them to do. Then set meetings with the people that you know will help you. Send press releases. Connect with them on Facebook, blog. Asking them to share. There's a new algorithm that came out with Facebook yesterday. I don't know whether you saw that notice, but that they're only going to be featuring posts that have been shared on your newsfeed. So liking somebody's post doesn't do anything for anybody. You need to share it. And tag other people so that it's going on their newsfeeds too. So you got to work a little bit harder there. Now, I didn't hear the first speaker, so maybe she told you about that. Set up business card meetings, go to open houses, do the wacky ways, and then build your marketing plan. Now, it doesn't have to look like our marketing plan. This is one I give to our students and teach them how to work with it. But essentially, you need to have a plan where you're going to meet people, what are you going to do to capture them as a client, and how do you expect people to get to you? How many of you have actually done a prospect call or talked to a customer while you're here? I know you're at convention. Good for you. Good for you. You had a break. You've had lunch. Could have prospect, because you could do it tonight. Is there a special thing going on tonight? Did you say an exhibition place or something?
Well, they signed up to go out for dinner together.
Okay. Well, all those people that you're sitting around the table all might need your services, because we all provide different levels, right? How many prospects have you spoken to in the last week? This is a really great book. If you haven't read it, it's worth getting. It's only a thin one. Yes is the destination, then no is the way to get there. And it's based on, we celebrate the wins. Let's say you know that you have to make 15 calls to get 4 customers. If you're doing your statistics, it's an easy breeze. But if you start on Monday morning and by noon you already have 3 sales, you can't kind of slow down the week and think, ooh, maybe I'll go to the spa this afternoon. The premise of getting those 15 no's is to keep making the phone calls, because the more phone calls you make, you're going to have more sales. Not being afraid of hearing no is something that I find fascinating. So it's like, what most people don't know is, at any given group of people, 90% of people don't know that they have a problem. and they're not looking for a solution. So 90% of the people that are in your database don't know that they need you, don't know that their homes can be enhanced, don't know that you're affordable, just have no clue, right? 90% of real estate agents don't know how they are going to improve their business by working with you. 7% of people are, yeah, you know what, I've heard about this, I've been thinking about it, this is what I might be doing, yeah. So the people who come by and kind of tire kick in your store, which leaves 3% of people who know they have a problem and are looking for a solution. And why I tell you that is because a lot of the time we take that weight on ourselves. It's like, it must be some way I'm presenting wrong. I didn't get that customer. If they didn't sign the document, it could be the way that you're phrasing it, but it essentially could be that you haven't qualified them well enough. And believe me, I would be retired on an island like, you know, Branson or whatever, if I could actually tell you the formula to find those 3%, right? You've got to target who you want to work with the most. If anything, that would be your 3%. But you'll use that strategy, sorry, I keep pressing this, use that strategy to separate your database into 3 components. A, B, C. Your A clients are the ones that you're going to invest your time and money in. Right? You can't market to everybody at the same time, so you're only going to work with your A clients. The second group get activated when somebody that you've tried to get in touch with, you know, talk about an 8-touch marketing campaign, if you've tried to get in touch with them and they're not responding, then drop them into the B and move somebody up from B to A. And the amount of people that you can manage in your A is representative of how much time that you have to set aside to market and how much money. So it could be 3 people, it could be 30 people. It's entirely up to you and your ability to do that. But the people in your C category, they just get your newsletter. They're the 90% of people who don't know that they need you yet. And something that they read might kind of trigger them one of these days. So if we work with that 97 and 3 category with our 1,300 people in our database, 90% of them don't know they have a problem. That would be 1170. They would be your C group. 7% of them kind of know that they need you. Those would be the B group, 91. And the 3% that know they need you and are looking for you is your A group, and that's 39. So now you've got to track. Track. How can you track? You need to track on a spreadsheet, in a book, in a customer retention management program. For those stages, we have one called Home Staging Business Builder. It sounds like the designer doc thing would work for you as definitely as a designer. You want the name of the prospect, how you met, how did you leave the door open? Are you sending them an article? How are you going to follow up? Did you connect with them on social media? Are you sending them a newsletter? Make your phone call and set your face-to-face. So tracking what you're doing with your customer will help you increase your productivity. And really, the key to get you where you want to go is increasing what you're currently doing. It's not working for you right now. It's not getting you where you want to go. So what can you do? Do more of what is right. The things that you know that you're doing are turning into, you know, good things. Talk to more people, network more. Maybe you only do it for an extra hour a week or an extra hour a day. Maybe that works for you. Remember that horse races are won by a nose. One of the things that was just on Facebook recently was whether or not, as an entrepreneur, you get into using a virtual assistant. You know, it's delegating off the Facebook and the blogging and all those things that you don't like to do. I think it's a really good idea. I have a friend who has a company in the Philippines called 123employee.com, and they hire university graduates who have the skills that you want, whatever skill sets you are. You're hired just for you. And 40 hours a month is the minimum that you can have these people for $350. So for $350, you get all of that work that you don't like to do done.